Hello viewers, in this video we are going to learn how to solve sort. Okay, this is the sort. We can call it irrational number, any number that can never be expressed as a square root of that number. Assuming you have the square root of 4, that is not an irrational number. Then the sort must be combined between the rational and irrational number. Assuming you are asked to simplify root 45, you can never simplify this as the root of 45. Once you press the calculator, will give you some number with the point. But when solving sort, you're supposed to look at the number that one of the number must be perfect square. Find two numbers at least, multiple of two numbers. One of the number must be perfect square. Perfect square in the sense that if you have, let's say, 2 times 2, 2 times 2, 3 times 3, 4 times 4, all these one are perfect square. Okay, 3 times 3, this is 4, 9 times 4, 16, 5 times 5, 6 times 6, 7 times 7, 8 times 8, 9 times 9, 10 times 10. Up to all these numbers are called perfect square. Perfect square. 10 times 10. All these numbers, they have square roots. As you know, when learning the square root, this is 25, 36, 49. 8 times, this is 64. This is 81. This is 100. These are the perfect square number. 11 times 11, and so on and so forth until you reach so many places. Then you have to find perfect square. One of the number must be perfect square. Assuming this is 45, root of 45, you ask to simplify in short form. Okay, this is 45. If you are simplifying 45, find two number. One of the number must be perfect square. Okay, then if you are simplifying, this is 45. Let's look at the perfect square number that we can multiply to get 45. Let's take 9. Let's take 9. Let's take 9, isn't it? 9 and 5. 9, if you take 9, 9 times 5. 9 times 5. This one is perfect square. It's having square root. 9 is a perfect square. Then 5 doesn't have square root, isn't it? Then when solving this, now we find the two numbers. One of the number is perfect square. 9 is perfect square, then 5 is non-perfect square. Then the number that having square root, we call it perfect square. Now you can simplify the square root of 9. You can separate. Here you have square root of 9 multiplied by square root of 5. Okay, then now the square root of 9 is 3. That is multiplied by the square root of 5. That is 45 in short form. We simplify 45. Let's solve the second question, which is called root 162. 162. Can you simplify 162? Find two numbers. If you multiply, you get 162. One of the number must be perfect square. The number that having square roots. Let's take 81. 81 times 2. Let's take 81 times 2. 81 times 2 is 162. This is 81. 81 times 2. If you simplify 81 times 2, you have the square root of 81 multiplied by the square root of 2. That is the multiple of 162. One of the number, remember that we say must be perfect square, must be from the range of that number that contains square roots. Let's more simplify. The square root of 81 here is 9 root 2. That is the square root of 81 is 9 root 2. Then the last question here on the board, we have square root of x square y. We simplify the square root of x square y. We can also simplify this in the short form. This shows that we can say this is equals to the square root of x square multiplied by the square root multiplied by y. We can also simplify as the square root of x square multiplied by the square root of y, and square can cancel out the square root here. Therefore, we can have x root y. That is the answer for the final one. If this is your first time of watching our video, kindly subscribe and hit the notification button. Thanks for watching. Bye.